In this video, we are going to cover the biggest challenges facing home sellers right now. I'm Christian Harris, the founder of the C-Town team in Seattle, Washington. I started this channel to give you a flavor of what Seattle has to offer and to bring you insights into Seattle real estate so you can live your best life here in Seattle. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. You can also give me a call or shoot me a text. I love helping people like you discover where they want to live in Seattle. So let's get into this. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you an insider secret as well as information on how to get my free, no obligation pre-inspection checklist, which will help home sellers make the most money off the sale of their house in any market condition. So make sure to stick around to the end. As we get into the biggest challenges facing home sellers right now, I want to provide a little context. In November of 2022, here in Seattle, we were coming out of years and years of a hot seller's market, going into a more balanced market, and eventually it's going to get into a buyer's market, which is normal. Markets shift up and down just like the stock market. Now, as the market cools and shifts, that doesn't necessarily mean that home values are going to go down, which is what most people fear. They think the market's cooling down, we have a recession, house prices are going to plummet like they did in 2008. That's not necessarily the case. Home values aren't necessarily going to go down. If they do, it'll probably be nominal, but listing prices, those will go down. And we're seeing that a lot right now. And that brings us to challenge number one facing home sellers. Your list price has to be on point. You have to have an agent that understands where the market is and where it needs to be priced in order to get it to sell. Well, you may be asking, what happens if I don't price my house properly? Well, it's going to sit and languish on the market for weeks and months and months. When we had a hot seller's market, a property would stay on the market for maybe a couple hours or a couple days. But if it was on for a couple weeks, people are like, whoa, what's wrong with it? This is crazy. That's way too long to be on the market. So it's key to remember in this conversation that first week a house on the market is key, because that is the most interest and attention that house will get from buyers at any point it's on the market, and it just tapers off from there. So if a house is overpriced compared to everything else around it, buyers aren't even going to give it a second look. They're going to skip right over it and say, that's overpriced, I'm not interested, I'm not looking at it. They're not going to think to themselves, well, I can offer less and then we can negotiate. They're not going to do that. They're going to skip right over it if it's priced too high. And if a seller does price it too high, more than likely they're going to have to take incremental steps in reducing that price until it eventually sells. But by the time that happens, it's going to be on for months, and they would have done better had they just priced it lower in the beginning. Statistically, they'll make more money if they price it lower and get more interest and sell it in that first week or two than if they price it high and then have to gradually reduce it, because the buyers have all the leverage in that situation. So that brings us to the second challenge, more inventory. There's more houses on the market right now that aren't moving than there has been for a long time, which means buyers have more options and sellers are at the mercy of the buyers. When buyers have more options, they can be pickier and move slower. They don't have the same sense of urgency as when there's only a few houses and a lot of buyers vying for those couple houses. So this means when sellers are getting ready to sell the house, they have to put more money and energy and time into preparing the house so it shines the best and stands out from all the other houses around it. It's especially important the house shows well, is clean and attractive to make it stand out from everything else on the market. When we had a really hot seller's market, home sellers didn't have to do anything. They could have a totally shitty house. Can I say that? Can I say that? No? Okay. When we had a really hot seller's market, home sellers didn't have to do anything. They could have a really rundown house that hasn't been updated since the 70s, and they would have 15 offers on this thing, and it would escalate for way over asking price. That's simply not the case now. So in a more balanced or buyer's market, you really have to make your house stand out and shine. And that's where I come in to make that happen. Now, another challenge right now that home sellers are facing is high interest rates. Now, you may be wondering, how does that affect me? I'm not the one buying a house, I'm selling it. Well, it affects you because as the interest rates go up, home buyers' purchasing power goes down. That means that additionally takes out more buyers from the buyer pool, or they can't afford as much, because more of their monthly payments going towards the interest rather than the actual purchase price of the house. Some buyers are even getting priced out and can't afford a house at all, which further eliminates the buyer pool. And as demand goes down, so does the likelihood of getting multiple offers or getting a purchase price that is above your asking price, which we are also seeing increase the likelihood of a low appraisal from the lender. Next, I'm going to get into that insider secret you've been waiting for. But first, if this video has been helpful for you, make sure to share this with a friend, give it a thumbs up down below, click down below, and leave a comment. That would really be helpful. And because you're helping me out, I want to help you out. Let me give you a little something. If you're looking to sell your house and you want to make sure to maximize that curb appeal and get it sold for as much as possible, you can find my phone number in the description below. Send me a text message and I'll send you my free, no obligation, pre-inspection sheet, which will help you prepare your house. Or obviously you can contact me and I'll walk you through everything you're going to need to do to prepare your house to make it stand out above the competition. So I recently helped an out-of-state seller client prepare and sell their house. They were really concerned about having missed the ship as the market was starting to cool down. They were concerned they weren't going to get any offers because they started seeing things stay on the market a little longer and then prices started to come down on listings. But this is where my insider secret comes in that you've been waiting for. They hired me because they knew that I understood the local market and that I knew what it took to put their house best foot forward in order to attract that ideal buyer. The insider secret to overcoming these challenges and getting the most from your home sale is finding an agent who goes above and beyond for you and who understands what the ideal buyer for your house is looking for. I do this with my exclusive "you don't have to worry about a thing" guarantee. This is where I provide my home sellers with a complimentary suite of pre-listing services, which includes pre-inspection, 3D scan, professional photos, staging, an exclusive marketing package. All of this ensures that your house stands out, garners the most attention, and sells for the highest price in the least amount of time. That's what I do to go above and beyond for my clients. As you can see, there's some challenges facing home sellers in a shifting market like this. But if you find the agent with the right tools, knowledge, and proven process, like me, I can help you overcome and come out on top. Give me a call with any additional questions you have. I'm here to help you prepare and sell your house in Seattle. Or if you live outside of Seattle, I have an extensive network of agents across the country, happy to connect you with a trusted one that will be a great fit for what you're looking for. Additional info can be found in the description below. See you on the next video.